You've asked the question and we are showing up for you. Today's question that everyone's been asking is, how do I actually find investors to help me flip my real estate deals? Basically, Jerry, people are looking for money. If real estate's hot and deals are abounding, and they always are, where do you actually find the investors? Where do you find people with money? And I've asked Jerry to actually come in town to shoot some of these videos with me. He is the king of flipping and one of the most sought after nationwide experts when it comes to flipping based on his 15 years of experience. He's also been my friend for years, an amazing man. And today, Jerry and I are gonna really break it down. Where do you find the easiest money to help support you in flipping deals and making a pile of money? So Jerry, there really are a number of ways of finding money for deals, and we've shot some different videos, but today we're gonna cover something a little bit different, right? I mean, if you want money, there's hard money and there's private money and, you know,
creative financing.
So many different opportunities, but I wanna share one of my favorite, probably my number one go-to when I'm looking for money, which is to actually get into a partnership. Someone that has money and say, hey, you know what? Instead of just being the lender like a bank and getting an interest rate, why don't I actually bring you in on the deal and we'll do it together?
Participation.
Yeah, so let me ask you, is that a strategy that you've used before?
Oh yeah, especially on kind of some of my higher end deals where there's kind of a lot of capital, because if you're using the other way, you know, debt investing, you've got like that big payment.
Yep.
That can be stressful when you got this big payment every month you're making until that property sells.
And with the partner, they're saying, well, I'm not getting that monthly interest payment, but when you do sell, if I believe in the project, I'm gonna participate in the profits. Yeah. And in a lot of my deals, Jerry, I'll partner up 50-50. They'll bring in the money, I'll do all the work, and my team will step in and you know, they get to enjoy a relatively passive role. And you know, in many situations, if I did hard money, I could probably make a lot more money. But you know what? I also find that when I take care of my partners and I take care of people, they keep coming back. And over the decades, we're going to be funding lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of real estate.
And that's really important. I mean, I've got some investors that I've done equity with, like you're talking, partner with on deals. And I look back now and over the years, I mean, they've made hundreds of thousands of dollars participating in my deals with me. And it's great because they trust me, I get a good deal, I know I can go to them, I know they're good for the money, we can close quickly. I mean, there's a lot of benefits to building these partnerships.
Yeah, and what I want to do is I want to share with you two different ways that you can find these partners. I want to talk first of all about the people you know, and then second about the people you don't know. And I'm going to give you two very different extremes on the spectrum. You know, Jerry, when I actually went out and did my first deal, I remember my father-in-law that I looked up to because my wife came from, they were a nice middle-class family. He was a business owner. They had done okay, well, not rich or anything, but I as a young punk kid, I wanted my father-in-law's respect. And I remember when I bought my first house, I mean, who doesn't, right? Yeah. When I bought my first house, I remember my father-in-law was really confused and concerned. He's like, you're not even
over your head, buddy.
Yeah, you're not even halfway through college. You just announced that you're not going to be a doctor because you're too dumb to be one because you can't figure out this chemistry stuff, and now you want to buy a house? Like, that sounds premature. When I bought my second house, he thought we might be getting a divorce. Like something is wrong. Two people don't need two houses, right? And then when I bought my third house, he kind of wrote me off as like the crazy son-in-law. Like, I don't get this.
You must be doing something illegal
or something weird, you know. But you know, when I came to my fourth deal, I had the deal lined up. It was going to make great money. And for the first time, I couldn't figure out how to get the money to do the deal. My father-in-law, he called me. He had just come back from a trip from, I think it was the Bahamas. It was an anniversary trip with his wife. And he called me up and he said, hey, what's going on? I'm like, my father-in-law doesn't normally call me just to, you know, just chat. You know, he said, tell me about this real estate thing. And so I started telling him about him. And he said he had a dream that he and I were doing real estate together. And he wanted to know what I was doing. And so I started breaking down my deals, and the ROIs I was getting were sick. They were really, really good. And I told him about this next deal and that I couldn't do it because I didn't have the money. And he said, you know what? I'll give you the money and we'll be 50-50 partners. And you know what? Dude, it was like I jumped out of my body. I was so freaking excited.
Because 50% of something is better than 0 of nothing, right?
Yeah.
If you don't do the deal.
Yeah, 100% of nothing, right? And so we ended up doing the deal, and we both made crazy good money. And then, you know, my father-in-law, we've done like 50 deals since.
Wow,
We've done a lot. And he was the first partner. Now, what was great about this partner was that it was someone that knew me that said, I believe in you, maybe not even a track record because you hardly have one. And some of you are watching this thinking, you know what? I wonder if there's someone I know that would take a bet on me. That is a first great place to look for a partner. But I also got some of you that are watching, you're like, dude,
I don't know anybody.
I don't know anyone's going to take a bet on me or that has money. Like, I just don't come from that. And on the other extreme, I have people that watch these videos, fall in love with the content, reach out to me, and I partner with them and we do deals together. I mean, total strangers that become fast friends. And there's a lot of ways that you can find partners, but you just got to understand first that you've got to focus on getting a good track record on anything that you do. Now, in a moment, I'm going to have Jerry share with you how you can get a great track record by just wholesaling some deals. Because right now, the only experience you really need for making quick cash in real estate is you got to know how to find a good deal, and then you got to know how to pawn it off to another investor to get a chunk of change, like 10 grand. You do 2, 3, 4 of those, and you load 30, 40 grand up in the bank, and guess what you can do? You can now showcase that to say, look, I'm finding deals regularly. I'm getting paid for them. How about instead of me pawning them off to other people, how about you become my partner and now we do these deals and I make the rest of the money that can be made on the deal, right? Yeah. Jerry, I think that's really where we want to head today is that partnering, bringing someone in to play an equity role, you're giving up a lot. But again, 100% of nothing is a whole lot less than 50% of something.
And you know what, Kris? My story is pretty similar. When I first got started, there really wasn't money on the streets because I got in 2004, 2005. Market was really, if you guys, anybody remembers, that was not a really good time. Money wasn't available. So I did the same thing. I partnered with people and I found that if I can present a deal and I can put everything together, here's the comps, here's a breakdown of all the repairs, here's everything that I'm confident this deal will be successful. All it takes is that one person that's got some capital. You're promising them half the profit. Talk to enough people and someone's going to do it.
And that works. I actually have a program. It's called Partner Profits, where I actually teach people how to go out, how to find partners, how to market to them on social media. And as they come in, they're the funding partner that brings the money. You're the doing partner that manages everything. You come together and you make deals happen.
And you know what? Don't judge. Like sometimes you think, they don't have any money or maybe they have a lot of money. It's not about appearances at all.
Oh, it can't be. Well, and often I find that if you're talking to anyone that has been working for 20, 30 years, they might feel broke, but they got money in 401ks, IRAs, paid off homes. And to them, they're not using that money for day to day. They're not supplementing their lifestyle, so they don't even feel like they got it in the bank. It's just for retirement.
And it's not making them any money where it's at.
No, it's actually losing them usually with the rate of inflation. And don't get me started because I get crazy when I start thinking of how stupid the 401k system is.
I know, especially when they can self-direct it, put it into a deal, and make a whole lot more money.
Way more money than the fiduciaries and the people responsible for giving you financial options. So friends, this whole thing, if you want to attract partners, first of all, just understand that if you want to get into real estate, but you don't got the money, you don't got the credit, someone else does. So it's OPM, other people's money, OPC, other people's credit. And with that, I'm doing deals all day long. And together we find match made in heaven. And it's awesome. But partners like to take a bet on someone that has more than desire or motivation. They want to take the bet on someone that has track record. And if you don't have a track record, like you haven't done a deal, that's why I'm saying the only person that might be interested might be a loving family member that's like, well, I might lose money on the deal, but I believe in you.
I'm not planning on getting this back.
So we got to find a way to get a track record. The fastest way to get a track record is to become a bird dog. And a bird dog is someone that finds a really good deal and then does a wholesale of that property to a professional investor that has the money, and they get paid a fee. That fee can be a few $1,000s, it can be $10,000. Heck, your best deal, you got how much?
$65,000.
$65,000.
And you know what? What's great about bird dogging is it gets you deals done. So you start to build that, experience, and you can
start talking the talk.
Yeah,
you know your way around real estate, and you can say, "Hey, I did these 3 deals, and I got paid, $5,000 on this and $3,000 on that." Or if you get trained by someone like Jerry, who's an expert, he actually pays his bird dogs $10,000. So some people treat people better than others. Jerry is kind of one of the premium guys out there for how he treats people. So my suggestion is if you need a partner and want to get in the game, but you don't got money and you don't got credit, then wholesale a couple of deals. Now to do that, you're going to need a couple of things. One, you're going to need access to find these deals, and you're either going to need training or software. Jerry has both of those, and they're free. He'll actually give you software. You can actually go to the link and sign up for it, and there's some training that he gives you first, but he'll give you the software that will actually find the deals in your zip code for those of you that live in America. If you don't live in America, you're not international yet, right?
No.
So he's not there yet.
But what's cool is you can live somewhere else and do deals in the U.S.
Totally true.
So it still works.
Yeah, so you're going to need software, and then the second thing is you need someone that is willing to be a partner to you and pay you money when you find a good deal. If you find a good deal, you could really pawn it off to anybody. But Jerry is my buddy that gives people $10,000 when they have a legitimate deal that works for him. So he'll give you that, and then he'll actually be your de facto partner.
And you know what's cool about it?
We'll give you that 10 grand on every deal.
Here's what's cool about it. You don't have to wait until I flip the deal later. I pay you right up front for bringing that deal, for finding that deal. So you get paid up front because I know if I can keep you excited about getting these $10,000 checks,
do another one.
You're going to go do another one.
Yeah. So if someone actually used your software and for free, and then they found a good deal and they uploaded it in your system and it met your criteria and you said, yep, I'm going to jump on this, how soon after would they actually get paid?
As soon as we have a closing and we make sure we have clear title and we close, I write you a check for $10,000.
So as soon as you close, they get the 10 grand, and then it might take you a month or 3 months to fix up or do whatever you're going to do. They don't have to wait.
They don't have to wait for any of that.
They've already been paid up front. They don't have any liability beyond any
risk.
of that. Dude, that's awesome.
Pretty cool deal.
So friends, partnering is a fantastic way to get money when you want to flip deals. And Jerry is really the resident expert on that. That's why I wanted him to be on today's video. So I recommend that you click the link in the description below, go check it out, and sign up for the web training. It's not very long, but it will really give you some good in-depth facts and info on how the system works, how you use the software, how you get paid the 10 grand, and some additional ways that you can also work with Jerry if you're on the more serious level. Guys, I'm all about working with the serious instead of the curious. So if that's you, take action and do it right now.